afternoon, sweet friends. You are watching Beauty Over 70 with Lee, and I am Lee if you're new, and I welcome you to the channel today. I welcome all my subscribers back. Let me just say, I'm filming this late in the afternoon, and my subscribers that have been with me for a while know that I have been extremely sick. And this is the first video I have made in quite a few weeks, and it feels kind of strange, but so good to be behind this down here in my studio filming after many weeks of not filming. The videos that I did run, I had pre-done and saved on my computer. But just to bring you up to date, first of all, this is really not the video that I had planned for today. I had planned a video, matter of fact, last week that I ran just a few seconds over a minute to tell my viewers and to what was wrong with me, because I have been extremely sick. And I didn't speak in that video. I could not because of cough, and I was so sick. But I just typed something up there, and those of you that saw it, you know, understand what I'm talking about. So, it's quite warm here today. I'm in the South. Why do I have on this? What I have on? Well, it's winter, first of all, my friends. It is winter. I have on this turtleneck and this long sleeve sweater, and I'll explain that in a minute. I'm not going to keep the video long today. The video I had planned, matter of fact, last week and today, I have worked several months for a special video to celebrate my 1-year anniversary on YouTube. 1 year. I uploaded my first video February 15th of 2022. And I wanted to bring out all the bangs and the whistles and everything for you guys. But it just wasn't possible. When you get sick, sickness happens, and I was extremely sick. But believe me, we will make up for it. I'm going to be doing a video of showing you different things throughout the year. Clips of my first video. Yeah. First clips of my first video. Not to bore you to death. As a matter of fact, I can hardly even stand to look at it because it wasn't that good. But I am happy to say that I made it 1 year. And my journey, I feel, is just beginning. I love what I do. And this year, outside of doing beauty and skincare, lifestyle, fashion, you name it, just a little bit of this, I have also added home decorating. Now, not a lot. I won't be doing a lot, but I will be doing some home decor styling and some home decorating here at the home that we actually live, and at my condominium, which is just down the road. And those of my viewers, my subscribers that watch that, that was filmed way before Valentine's Day. I'm going to take a sip of my tea and lock. Dear God, thank you for my blessings. I don't know what I would do without my Savior. I really don't. Day by day, I mean, every day, I'm going to get mushy, but I love this cup. These words are so special to me, and I thank God daily for the blessings that He gave me. I want to thank all my subscribers that have prayed for me, that have gave me moral support, that have checked on me, that have commented and messaged me. I can't tell you what that means from the bottom of my big heart. I felt prayers. I felt prayers for my friends, my family, the physicians and the people that was taking care of me. And I felt prayer from my subscribers, and that would be you, my girlfriends. And I thank you. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for that. You don't know what that means to me. I feel like that I'm really, at this point, I'm still new on YouTube compared to some of them, but I feel like that I'm not really a newbie anymore. When you hit that 1 year point, you just feel like you're not a newbie anymore. Down the road, when things get a lot better, I will bring you a good celebration of this. And it won't be too long, because I don't want it to be Christmas before I do that. Yeah, just to bring you up, I don't want to bore you, I just want to give you up to date. I started getting sick the 1st of January. Now, the reason I'm saying this is for my subscribers that some of you have been with me since day one. I had to have that first subscriber before anything started. Excuse me, there's always number one. Just like to decorate. It is relaxing to me, and it's therapy. And anything that makes you happy, puts a smile on your face, I say go for it, right? Go for it. Started getting back to this. I know I keep jumping around in my brain as I've had so many meds that I thought, you know, that's why I really put on what I put on today, is this turtleneck and long sleeve. So, because I've been so sick, and at the hospital, I ended up at the hospital. I have so many bruises over both arms at the hospital from them drawing blood and IVs and things, that I feel like somebody that just popped onto this channel that hasn't been with me would think I was a drug addict or something, because, like, what in the world? But really, my veins were collapsing when I went to the hospital. My veins were collapsing, and I remember they stuck me 4 times, and I remember saying, "Can you do it? Can you do it here in the hand, because my veins are good." And my right arm has a good blood vein, and that's the arm I always pop up when I have to give blood, get blood. And it's got a good vein in it. And they didn't want to do it. They couldn't put it in the hand. They said the higher the better. So the RN had started here on my arm, and even under here. There's one here and one here, and then she tried this vein here, and all 3 of them blew. So, and she come over here to this arm, to my good vein, and that one really wasn't popped up either, on that I just told you about, and that one blew. So that was 4 times. And so finally, another RN had to come in and start the IV. And I remember her saying, "If I can't get this one, we're going to have to get the PICC line team to get an IV in her, because we need blood stat. We need it." And the doctor has got an emergency rush on the blood. But anyway, that was the hospital ordeal. Going back, and I'm sorry that I'm doing that, but I started getting sick around, I don't know, it was maybe January 3rd, 4th, something like that. I have a history of a lot of sinus issues, and I have an inner ear disease, as a lot of you, my regular subscribers, know that I have Meniere's. It's an inner ear condition that I have. And I also have an autoimmune disease called lupus. And my body does not fight infections and various things like the average person, if you will. So I have to be real careful with that. Anyway, I went to call my doctor. He couldn't see me. So I saw one of the nurse practitioners that I had been seeing for several years. And I love her. She is so, so sweet. And she diagnosed me with a sinus infection, an ear infection, and getting down in my throat into tonsillitis. Well, my throat continued to get sore. Well, when I left the office, I was giving an antibiotic, steroids by mouth, and I was given a heavy steroid shot injection. And I was on that medication with some cough syrup, and I wasn't coughing too much at the time. I was on that medication for 10 days, the 10-day course. That and 4 days, 5, just somewhere around there. I can't remember days, it's just slipped away from me. Started getting sick again, and I called, and I didn't see that this particular office has 2 nurse practitioners, and they're both super, super good. So I saw the other nurse practitioner. I go in and I explained everything, and at that second visit, excuse me, sip of tea. I've had enough tea from China. Really. Lemon, and this happens to be peppermint tea, and I put honey and lemon in it. But anyway, the second visit, I believe, if I'm correct on that, was either the 8th or 9th of February. And first of all, I had a low-grade temperature. They tested me for COVID. They tested me for the flu. They tested me for strep. 3 tests. Well, they were all negative. So this nurse practitioner in this particular visit, February 9th, 8th or 9th, she gave me a double antibiotic injection, a double steroid shot, and gave me prescriptions from my pharmacy local to bring me antibiotics, steroids, which is prednisone, heavy prednisone, and cough syrup, and something to spray in my steroid for my nose to open everything up. Well, anyway, I started doing everything I was supposed to do, take my medicine religiously, and I got about 3 days away from finishing the prednisone and the antibiotics and all that medicine that she had given me. It's about 3 days. It was late and I had started having trouble breathing. I was like when I would breathe, I know this is boring, but I'm trying to let you know what's been happening with me. When I would breathe, I would have to breathe through my mouth. And I would have to, if you could see here, you know how it sucks in when you take a big deep breath and sink in. Excuse me, I apologize. I've still got a little bit. And I was just getting, my breathing was getting more and more labored, more and more labor. It was just more and more difficult. And I felt like somebody had almost put a water hose in my lungs, because I felt like I was drowning on fluid. I felt like I was drowning on fluid. So I called the pharmacist and I said, I should have called by now, but is there anything in any of this medicine, this last round that I got, would retain fluid in my body? Because I'm not eating anything much. I'm no salt, anything like that, just enough to normal, a little bit. They said, no, not at all. So I said, okay, I can't take it. I was like, I didn't know. I thought, I'm going to the emergency room. I don't know what to do. So I stopped the medicine. I said, I'm not taking any more of this. I am not taking any more of this medicine. I can't take it. If I take another dose, I'm gonna die. I mean, it was that horrific, my friends. It was that horrific. So it was my pulmonologist that I see, his office was still open. So I called and I gave his nurse the rundown of what exactly had been going on up until that point, and I just couldn't breathe. So she said, You be here at 8 o'clock in the morning when the office opens. I said, okay, I'll be there. This was after I saw my doctor. I told you I'm scatterbrained. That was round 2, okay? And I saw I call my doctor. I call my doctor, and he saw me the next morning. I was labored, my breath, I was wheezing. You could hear me breathing just all over the place. It was just rattle, rattle, rattle. It was like pneumonia was there. It was so bad. And so my temperature was a little elevated, and I told them that they had, done all the 3 tests and everything was negative. Of course, he had the records right there in front of him. So when he examined me, he said, your left ear is really, and that's the major complaint, is this left ear is the worst of the 2. But I do have it bilateral, the inner ear disease. I do have it bilateral, but the left has always been the worst. So anyway, he said, you have massive fluid and fluid back there, really bad. And I can't believe it after all the medication you've had. I've had a pharmacy in this body. He examined me and he said, that wheezing is, how long has this been going on? I said, well, it's for about 3 days, 3.5 days, and it's just getting worse. I mean, it's been really, I've always had it, but it's just getting worse. So he said, okay, I want you to go from here to the hospital to get a chest x-ray. I want several chest x-rays. And nobody had done a chest x-ray up until this point. So take note, my friends, you got to take care of your health, because sometimes you're misdiagnosed. Point blank. I'm sorry, but you are. I know I was. So anyway, I go and get the chest x-ray. I pull up, at the hospital, my local hospital, there's a where you can pull up, and there's valet parking where they will park the car for you. And I was driving by myself. As you guys know, my husband has cancer, so he doesn't drive. And I needed to do this, and I didn't want to risk, if I could at all, not to involve somebody that I might be sick or give somebody something. So I made it, which is the doctor's office is not really far from the hospital, actually. Breathe. And so I said to the couple, I said, could you please help me and see if there's somebody in there with an attendant for a wheelchair, because I really don't feel very well. And I said, sure. So they were getting somebody, and I remember almost going down. I mean, I just couldn't breathe. I just almost went down, just went down. So weak, so weak, extremely weak, and couldn't breathe. Well, they put me in the wheelchair to check out. And he went up and he said, this lady really needs help, because she almost passed out in the parking lot. She can't breathe. So they expedited me through that really quick. Everything's, and you're sick. You don't know. I mean, you don't care. You just, but anyway, that's what it was. So they brought an oxygen tank out and gave me oxygen. So finally, not too long, they took me back and got the chest x-ray. Okay, and I did. I made it home safe. Chest x-ray, had bronchitis. I had to get some more tea. I'm sorry. I'm going to get through this. I went on back home, and my doctor's office, my pulmonologist's office, it was still open. So I called. I explained it to his nurse, all 3 visits, and dates, medication, everything. She said, be here at 8 o'clock in the morning. This is where I started earlier, remember? I apologize. He gave me a 15 or 20 minute breathing treatment there in the office. My BP was elevated. And he said, I'm going to call down to ER and talk to the ER physician that will be seeing you, and you need to be admitted to the hospital because you are in bad shape. You have been to 3 different doctors, and you have took 3 rounds of medicine, and you are in bad shape. So you've been sick for what, 36, 37, 38 days. You need to be admitted with some heavy artillery. So his nurse rolled me down to ER, and when I got down there and they got me in the bed and everything, the doctor came in and he said, you know, I talked to your doctor upstairs, and he feels like you need to be, you know, admitted. We're going to do some tests, and, you know, first of all, my blood pressure, I remember a number of the person that took me that morning, the person that drove me that morning to my 8 o'clock pulmonology appointment, told me that, and they told me my blood pressure was at one point 217, and it possibly was higher. That's what he saw. Blood pressure was extremely, extremely high. They were a fear of a stroke. They were checking for blood clots in my lungs. I'm allergic to contrast dye, so I could not do the CT scan because I'm allergic to the contrast dye that they have to put in your vein. So they had to do the second thing to do that, which is blood. And they kept getting blood and kept getting blood. My potassium was dangerously low because all the medication had pulled all of that out of my body. I just, you know, but thank God when the blood tests come back, I didn't have a blood clot. And that was so, so good. That was such a relief because I didn't know what to think at that point, my friends. I didn't. I mean, I was scared to death. I was sick, but I did not have a blood clot in my lungs, and that is good. But they gave me, the IV was going, medicine was going, and they would put some in, and then they would flush, and then they would inject it right in to the IV port. Because they had to get it in there, and they can't put the medication to lower the blood pressure too fast, because if they do, it will bottom out your BP, and then that's not good. So they have to inject it slow. So they kept doing that and different things. It was taken care of, and the medications got everything down, and it took some time, but anyway, I'm here. And I thank God. I thank God. I thank God, as I said earlier, I thank God every day that I live for the blessings that He bestows upon me and takes care of me and my family. And all prayers are not answered, and that's why I love this cup so much. Dear God, thank you for my blessings. And every time this cup gets clean, I'm drinking out of it. Because, yeah, He takes care of you. Just trust and faith. That's what's happening, and I'm back. I filmed this yesterday, and tomorrow, I'm filming this on Wednesday. And tomorrow, I go back to see my pulmonologist in the morning, and I'm looking forward to see the results, the prognosis, you know, of this, and other tests will be done tomorrow to see how things are improving. But my friends, I cannot convey the thanks for the prayers, that the supporters that you guys gave me. I know I've rattled on, and I'll cut half of this out. I've rattled on, and but I have had so much prednisone in my body to bring you up to date what's been happening with me. And again, I thank you for the prayers that you gave me. I thank you for all your moral support, and most of all, I thank you for being with me, staying with me as a loyal subscriber. Some of you have been with me, as I said, from day one. Some of you have been with me 6 months. Some of you might have came on last week. I thank you. I thank you so much, and it feels so good. It feels so good to have my 1 year down. It feels so good to be back behind this camera talking to my girlfriends. And yeah, I'm going to get myself fixed up. As I was saying, I've had so much prednisone, and anybody that's had prednisone knows I'm Irish. And it flushes. As a matter of fact, my face, my cheeks actually had blisters because I was burned. My forehead was burned, my chest, down on my décolleté, even my inner arms. I look like somebody, a red lobster. I look like somebody was a big juicy lobster because that stuff just burns my skin so much. And I feel like I have got a cosmetic studio on my face because I've got concealer, I have got color corrector, and I have got probably a half a tube of makeup on to cover all the red. But it took me a while to get as what I have on my face today to look what I look like, and it's not good. But I spent a lot of time getting ready for my friends, and I wanted to look as good as I can at this point. But most of all, I wanted to thank you for being a loyal supporter for 1 year. What do you think of this hair? I got something to share with you before I let you go. I've got one thing to show for you. What do you think of this hair? You know, you remember the hair video when I said, I need your opinion. Should I let it grow? Should I get it cut? Keep it the style that I do? I have not had any. I've got that color. I've got that color on here where it's an inch now, not an inch and a half. That color that I did that little video of covering the gray. If you haven't seen that, go back and watch it. But if you want to, but I hadn't been able to do anything. As a matter of fact, I haven't done anything. This is the first time I think I've actually had makeup on, and I'll put a little makeup on tomorrow to go see my doctor. I didn't put makeup on when I went to the doctor. I mean, you know, when you're sick, you're sick. You know, it's the last thing you think about is makeup, you know. But anyway, I did the best I could. But what do you think of the hair? You know, your opinion, I do the short pixie, and look, it is like, it's out to here, and it's so long that it parts. And I thought, oh gosh, I can't go on camera like that. But what do you think? It's, you know, I was trying to let it grow. It's big hair. It's fat. What do you think? I feel like, don't shoot. I mean, that's what I feel like. It feels good to laugh. It feels good to laugh, my friends. It really does. You know, I look at myself and I think, who is that? Because I've worn a pixie for 35 years. Super short back here. And I'm trying to, you know, I do have a lot of hair. I have a ton of hair. To come down here to do my filming, I looked in the mirror and I tried to fix it up, and I was like, don't. I'm scary. Oh, but it feels good to laugh. But anyway, just continue to remember me in your prayers. Thanks again for the support. Thanks again for sticking with me for an entire year. Thanks for your friendship. And I'm not going anywhere. It sounds like I'm leaving or something, but I'm not. I'm here to stay. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be bringing beauty, skincare, lifestyle. I'm going to be doing some modeling for you. I'm going to take you shopping with me. And heck, everybody can just come over to the house and we're just going to have a darn party when I get well. I give everybody my address and we'll just have a big party. How's that sound? But girlfriends, this is good for me. This is good for me. I'm good at it, but I'm still not good at it. But dang it, I enjoy what I do, and that's important. Enjoy what time you have on this earth and smile. Be happy, be thankful, be grateful. I know I am. And I trust in the good Lord. And He gets me through everything that I endure in my life. My life has not been easy. but he gets me through what I need to get through. It may not be my way, but he gets me through, and I am so thankful, and I am so blessed for the faith that I have in my Savior. And okay, I'm going to share a lipstick. This is a lipstick that I bought way before I got sick. Matter of fact, I think I got this lipstick last year and I never used it. But I'm going to share the lipstick that I have on. I put on some pink today and some little pink blush. These cheeks, they weren't pink enough, so I had to put a little bit more pink. This is a Maybelline lipstick. It actually is a matte formula, but it's very creamy. I had not used this lipstick. I thought, I'm going to put on something new today. I'm going to put on something new today, and I'm going to share that new lipstick with my friends. And some of you may have tried this, but it's Maybelline, and I'm going to list it when I edit. I'm going to list it. It's number 565, and the name of it is Almond Rose. Almond Rose. Isn't that a pretty name for a lipstick? And I want to show this to you. It is such a pretty, pretty, pretty pink. Look at that. It's such a pretty pink. But it's a matte, but it is so creamy, so creamy. Look at that. I mean, that is just such a pretty color. I couldn't believe it when I put it on. It was like, look. It feels so good for a matte. Tell you what, this is so super creamy. Maybe because it's new, but this lipstick feels fabulous. And I will list it at the top. I will be back next Thursday with another video for you. And again, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything again. I know I keep repeating myself, but I'm going to wrap this up. Check out my channel, Beauty Over 70 with Lee, and follow me on beauty, skincare, lifestyle, fashion, shopping, decorating. We're going to be bringing it, I'm going to bring it all to you, and I'm going to be sharing it all with you, my friends. So hang with me, the content that I bring you. Please leave me a comment and subscribe and hit the like button so I can reach my goal, because it really helps me out and I do appreciate it. I'm going to wrap this up this time, girls. I want to leave you with my prayers and my love that I send each and every one of you, to each of you. There's a lot of you, and I don't want to leave anybody out. I'm sending my love and my thanks and my prayers to each of my subscribers or anybody else that's watching my video today. I'm going to leave you with my favorite words. Go out and make today better than yesterday, but always, always remember that Lee loves you. Don't forget that. I will see you next Thursday, and I will have a more interesting topic to talk about next week, I promise. Love you guys. Bye.